Okay, this is a really cool card effect that's based on 6 companion pairs. Now, companion pairs are cards of the same value and the same color. And the reason that there are 6 is because there are 6 letters in Teller's name. Teller from Penn and Teller. So this effect is in honor of Teller, the quiet one. This will be a challenge in which we're going to destroy these companion pairs and then randomly put out the cards in hopes of reuniting the pairs again. Now, what Teller discovered is that the Joker can often help you in this card challenge. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do it without the Joker for now and just see how we do. So I'll put the Joker off to the side there. So if you were here, you could tell me how to randomly stack these, which ones you want first. So maybe I'll go like that, like this, and then this pair, and then finally this pair here. Okay. Now to thoroughly mix the cards, we're going to perform a mange shuffle. It can be either an over-under or under-over, which is what I'm doing here. Okay. And the hope is if we deal out the cards into 6 piles, that we'll be able to get at least 1 companion pair. So you can think of points being awarded for each successful pairing of the companion cards. So let's see how we did. Oh, that's a 0. Those aren't companion cards. What about here? Nope. And what about here? Oh, nope. They're both red, but oh, bad. Oh, 2 kings, different colors. Oh, same color, but different values. Okay, well, let's try that again. And if you were here, you could do this as many times as you like, actually. And hopefully you'd have better luck than I would in doing this. So let's go ahead and try our luck again. Okay, so 3, well, that's 6. Okay, I'm trying to keep an eye on the camera too. Looks like we're not going off. Okay, so did we do any better? Oh, got 2, no, different colors. 2 jacks, no, different colors. 2, wow. Whoa, we're doing well, except they're all the wrong colors. Wow, that's actually quite cool. Good job. But still, you get a score of 0, I'm sorry to say. Okay, well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Okay, well, let's try that a 3rd time. Okay, we'll go into 6 piles as before. See what kind of craziness we get this time. Nope. Oh, wow, now we're like, oh, it's same value, different colors. Nope. And nope again. Wow, I'm sorry. We're not having much luck here. Okay, and so what Teller actually discovered is if you use the Joker, it's very good at reuniting companion pairs or companion cards. Okay, so we'll just place it on top. And then we'll do the same actions that we did before. We can do an over-under or under-over, your choice, actually. So if you're here, you could tell me which to do. Okay. And now what we're going to do is give you the chance to cut the packet wherever you would like. So you can leave it as is. Okay, let me just show you kind of where we are. The Joker's right there. We can leave it the way it is, or you could cut any number of cards to the bottom. What would you like to do? And a note to you as the performer, no matter where they cut, this performance will be successful. Okay, so that's just, don't tell the spectator that, but a note to you. So feel confident. It doesn't matter where they cut it. So maybe they'll cut just a few cards to the bottom, complete the cut. Okay. Also, I want to mention, if you're interested, I won't do it here, but you could do a Charlier shuffle, if you've seen that before, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom. Okay. So if you find that a bit more convincing, you could do that and have them tell you stop that shuffle at any point. Okay. You'd like to see it, Charlier? Okay, well, let's just make note of you cut right there, 3 above. Okay, so the Charlier is where you push off a certain number of cards, and then you go top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom. I can actually add a link in the description below to the Charlier shuffle. It's such a wonderful shuffle that it really is very, very convincing. Okay, So you could do this or not do this. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see, I think you had chosen 3 above. Oh, and by the way, the Charlier shuffle that I just showed you is actually equivalent to just cutting the cards at some location. So when we came back to 3 cards above the Joker, we are actually back to right before the Charlier shuffle was actually performed, which is absolutely amazing in and of itself. So take a look at that link and learn that shuffle. It's a very, very useful and convincing shuffle. Okay, so we really are back to where you freely cut it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'll go ahead and just set the Joker aside. Okay, so I haven't rearranged the order of the cards here. I just moved the Joker out because we're going to deal out into 6 piles. And having a Joker there will throw off that multiple of 6, of course, because then we have 13 cards. Okay, so we've dealt it out one more time. Now, despite multiple failures earlier, what do you think the chances are that we'll get, well, 1 or 2 maybe? At least, at least 1 or 2 companion pairs, seeing that we got Zippo before. Okay, well, where should we check? You want to check right here first? Oh, we got 1! Oh boy, yes! We got 1, and you happen to actually pick one that's worked out. How about you want to check this one? Yes! We got 2. Oh man, what? Oh, this one now? 3. And then what about here? 4. 4 for 4. 5 for 5. And I guess by elimination, this one would almost have to work. Check that out. This little Joker, just as Teller discovered, is really good at reuniting companion cards. And it certainly helped us out. Maybe I'll show some respect to the Joker and turn it the right way up. Okay, so that is the effect. And it's using a few ideas on the Absolute Math Magic channel. Okay, so quickly, let me just explain. So when we stack these, let's go back to the beginning just for a moment. This won't take too long to explain. This is called an AMP, adjacent mirrored pairs. Okay, so that's the name of this structure. There's pairs of cards of interest all the way from the top to the bottom. Okay, now when you perform a mange over-under or an under-over, it converts it to a mirrored packet. Okay, so what is a mirrored packet? Let me just show you what a mirrored packet is. And in fact, you may know just from the name, actually. It's supposed to be descriptive. So on the outer ends, you get companion cards. You come in 1, companion cards, companion cards, companion, and the very center you get the blackjacks. Okay, so this is a mirrored construction. Well, because of that, we have a very powerful result in mathematical card magic. It's called the stay-stack principle. And so what it says is if you have an even-sized packet that's arranged in a mirrored configuration like this one, for each divisor of the packet size, you can actually deal out the cards into that many piles and then randomly stack from left to right or right to left, and it will still, quote, be mirrored. Okay? We didn't use the full power of the stay stack principle because we just dealt out into 6 piles. And of course, 6 is a divisor of 12. Okay? But just to show you what the stay stack principle result, because 2 divides 12, you can actually deal out into 2 piles, random stacking, and then this will still be mirrored. It will still have that characteristic. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could add this as some additional mixing before you deal out into 6 cards, just to kind of help convince the spectator that the cards are sufficiently mixed. Well, they are, but it still has this important structure, which is what we need. 3 is also a divisor of 12, so we can deal out into 3 piles, random stacking from left to right or right to left. It will still, quote, be mirrored. Okay, so we could have done a bunch of dealing outs into 3 piles in an effort to kind of randomize the cards, and you can see that it's still mirrored all the way to the center black kings. 4 is a divisor of 12, so you can actually deal out into 4 piles, random stacking from left to right or right to left, or leapfrog stacking, which is something I've talked about on my channel. That can also be done and not hurt it. It's still mirrored. Okay, so I decided to not do all of that additional mixing, but any of that can be done if you would like before you go into failing in finding companion pairs when you deal out the cards into 6 piles. Okay, so that's some mixing you can do dictated by the spectator to further convince them that the cards really should be beyond the knowledge of anyone. And in a real sense, that's true. Like, I don't know, when the cards were face down, I couldn't tell you exactly where the Queen of Hearts was or whatever, but I know it's structured as a mirrored packet. Okay, so if you want to do those are optional. But then what I did, so after we did the mange, so we didn't do any of that additional mixing, which you could, we just dealt out into 6 piles. Okay, and the hope is to get at least 1 companion pair. Okay, now what's going to happen is when the cards are mirrored in the way that I just showed you, you will never ever be successful with these. You'll never get a companion pairs here, not a single one. You can deal this out into 6 piles from left to right, and then stack from the left to right or right to left, and do that forever, and you'll never get any of these to work. Okay, so here, to try again, you just stack from left to right or right to left. I guess I should point out that you can do leapfrog stacking for those who are familiar with it, and it won't hurt anything. You're safe to do it. Let me just show you that we failed again. Different colors, different colors. A different color, same value. That's kind of nice. Oh wow, yeah, we're getting kind of close there, but they're all different colors. Okay, and so what is leapfrog stacking? And if you remember, I stacked them face up, which is fine. It just saves the time in doing this. Okay, so what's leapfrog stacking? Very, very quickly. It's something you can do with a mirrored packet, and you have an even number of piles that you've dealt out in the way that we've just dealt them out. So leapfrog stacking from left to right would look like this. This one leaps over its neighbor, lands there. 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 Random stack here. That is truly the case. Okay, and so despite all of that, you will still not be successful. Okay. And it's not a bad idea maybe to do some leapfrog stacking, because what it does is it mixes the cards in a very different way, and so you're going to get different looking pairs than you had with the previous 2 that we did. A different kind of combination of wrong pairings that are not companion pairs. Okay, and then from there, okay, you can just stack these. You can leave them face up if you like, from left to right or right to left, or leapfrog actually. And then you just explain that Teller from Penn and Teller discovered that the Joker is very helpful in bringing companion cards back together again. Okay, so you put it on top, and then the fact is we're going to do the exact same steps that we started with. So it's not like we're pulling a fast one on you. The very first thing that we did after we got our cards put together, we did a mange shuffle. So you can do over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Okay, or you can do an under, over. Okay, so let me tell you what the structure is, and that will help you see why this is going to work out and why you can cut the packet and it won't hurt anything. Well, a mange shuffle, what it does to a mirrored construction is it converts it to a 2-cycle. And it even does it with that Joker on top. You would think that the Joker would somehow throw off the mange shuffle and prevent you from accomplishing this, but it doesn't. So here's the 2-cycle structure. Here we have companion cards, companion cards, companion cards, all the way down to the red queens. Okay, so this is a 2-cycle with cycle length 6. Okay. Well, a 2-cycle, when you deal it out into its cycle length and then deal out the remaining cards, you'll be matching up these companion pairs perfectly. You'll nail every one of them. Okay, and then when it is cyclic like this, when it is cyclic, it doesn't hurt to cut the packet. And then at any point you can also, remove the joker. At some point, remove the joker. But you can cut this wherever you want, and it will still be, quote, a 2-cycle. I can quickly show you that. So here's the cycle again. So red queen, the black jack, all the way to black queens. Okay, and so you can probably now see that if you just deal out 6 piles, you're going to match them up perfectly. Okay, so spelling out Teller's name is really going to help us here, because each and every one of these will be companion pairs. Okay, you don't have to stress over whether some or none of them are. All of them will be, because of the underlying mathematics. Okay, so I thought this is a fun, hopefully fairly simple result. If you found the additional mixing that I showed in the tutorial, dealing into 2 piles, then 3, then 4, then ignore that. Don't do those, right? But they're further convincers for the spectator that, oh boy, how can he possibly put together these companion pairs in the end? Especially when you add this crazy joker on top, which is kind of throwing off the ordering of the cards. It's affecting things. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.